Scary Tales story.
The week the shadows knocked. I was around 12 when it happened, but the memory still clings to me like a cold breath on the back of my neck. I've never really told this story fully, but sometimes at night, I still see it when I close my eyes. My room was barely big enough for a bed and a dresser, tucked into the far end of the hallway. If you stepped in, the window faced you across the room, while the bed was shoved into the corner on the right. The wall beside me was blank, nothing but faded wallpaper with little cracks running like veins under the surface. But one night, close to 1 a.m., I opened my eyes and turned toward that empty wall, and that's when I noticed it. A window that shouldn't exist. It wasn't real, but the shape was there, like a shadow burned into the wall. Dark frame, 4 panes, blacker than the darkness around it. And in that impossible window, I saw a silhouette slip by, the shape of a boy, moving fast, vanishing behind what looked like a shed, but made of shadows. I didn't move. I could have, but I didn't. Instead, I pulled the blanket just above my eyes, the way kids do when they think fabric can protect them. My fingers gripped the edge so tightly that my knuckles stuck out into the air. That's when I heard whistling. It was right next to my hand, and worse, I felt it. A warm, steady breath brushing across my knuckles, carrying a soft whistle with it, like someone standing right there, so close I could feel the heat of their breath. I froze, heartbeat thudding like a drum in my ears, for what felt like forever. Then, like someone flipping a switch, fear took over. I kicked the blanket away, stumbled off the bed, and sprinted for my parents' room, yelling and banging on their door. "Please open up, please." I tried my sister's room too, rattling the knob, begging for someone to wake up. Every door felt locked, every second stretched into something unbearable. When they finally opened up, I was sobbing so hard I could barely speak. Someone was in my room. They were whistling on my hand. They had no answers. No one did. A week later, it wasn't over. It was around 2 a.m. when I cracked the window open for fresh air and fell asleep. But I woke up to sounds that didn't belong. First a crash, metal screeching, a car horn blaring into the night, then screaming, a voice raw and terrified, and then laughter. Not the laughter of a person, but something stuck in a loop, rising and falling like a broken recording that refused to end. At first I thought I was caught in a nightmare, but I was awake. I left my room, knocked on my sister's door, and whispered, "Do you hear that?" She was sitting up, pale, her eyes wide in the dark. "Yeah," she whispered back. "I can hear everything." The sounds didn't stop until dawn. As the first light slipped over the rooftops, the laughter finally faded. But then from the garden below, we heard it, a baby crying. It was sharp, cutting through the cold morning air, coming from just outside our window. We pressed our faces to the glass, searching the garden, but saw nothing. Still, the crying didn't stop. I don't know what came over me, but I went outside. It was freezing, dew clinging to the grass, the sky a dull gray. I stepped into the yard, and the crying felt like it was everywhere at once. Then I heard footsteps, quick, running footsteps, moving fast behind the fence in the shared walkway that separated the houses. No one should have been there at that hour. I didn't wait. I ran back inside, slammed the door, and locked it behind me. No one ever explained what happened that week. No one in the house talks about it anymore. But I remember the warmth of that breath on my hand, the laughter that went on, the baby's cry echoing in the dawn. I know what I heard. I know what I felt. Tell me, what do you think it was?
Like and subscribe to Scary Tales Story for more horror tales that will haunt your dreams and keep you checking the shadows.